In the second institutions we form are these co-ops, and so these co-ops are for families that take in the orphans, and so it could be, for example, a potato co-op, and how that works is a group of 10 families come together that are caring for orphans, and we train them on how to run a co-op, how to be a banker, and how to make money from an agricultural business, such as potatoes, maize, pig farming, or dairy. And then we fund the co-op, so that could be, if it's an agricultural co-op, we actually fund their bank, and we give them enough money to give everybody in the co-op, the first 10 people, a microloan, such that they can farm profitably an acre of potatoes and make money from it, and buy all the inputs and good seed and get assistance with the farming. They pay back those loans over 3 years, and the capital immediately goes out again as another loan to another farmer. So it continuously grows, and half the interest from the microloans goes into the most vulnerable children, and that gives those committees some capacity to make material interventions to the kids. And if it's a pig co-op, half the first litter of pigs would go to the most vulnerable children committee, which they then sell the piglets, and then they get income. And that's continuously revolving all the time. We don't start those co-ops straight away. First, we need to get the MV, most vulnerable children committees, going. So in the first year, first 18 months, there's not much income coming in to the co-ops that we've started. So we give scholarships over the first 4 years for kids to go to school. And then as the co-ops start generating capital and money and more people get involved, we then cut those scholarships down. So we might, in a village, for example, we might give 100 scholarships to kids in the first year, 75 in the second year, and then down to 0 in the 5th year. Okay. Healthcare, we are very careful what we do there, because we're not technically a healthcare organization. But in the first group of 8 villages we're in, there were 3 clinics in those 8 villages. In the second group, and in the next group that we moved to as well, of villages, there's no clinic. So we're just actually helping that community to build a clinic, nurses' quarters, and a doctor's house. And we've just got a grant to finish the doctor's house, so now it'll be able to be opened. And we'll do similar in the third group of villages we're just moving into. But the other thing we do on health is, HIV/AIDS is the big problem here that's causing a lot of these orphans. So we teach youth to be HIV/AIDS peer educators. So again, we don't do the teaching. It's a great program, actually. It's very exciting. We basically, it's called Life Choices, and the program that the peer educators are teaching their colleagues is on how to make choices in life, and when to have sex and how to have sex is one of the choices, and how to do your homework, or to do your homework and choose to go to school every day are other choices. So they're basically learning about choices, and it's just great talking to these young children who are doing this. And it's we teach children how to be peer educators, we teach the school teachers how to support them, and then all the community leaders at the village level and the next level of government, we teach the same program so that they can run defense for the kids if they run into flak with some of the people in the community, which they do. Last year, we have just incredible volunteers, and you met Lisa just now. And another volunteer we have is Ellen, who is a volunteer, and she's heading up our research. And Ellen managed a project last year where we sent 2 Masters of Public Health students to Tanzania and did research mostly and a study in one village. It was the first village that we went to in Tanzania and collected some data. Basically, it was a whole lot of data on villagers who, so this is a village, Idweli, where we've done the program for 5 years now. And so they were collecting data on families that had been in a co-op for 5 years, 2 years, and families that still hadn't got into a co-op. But, I mean, just some of the bottom line things that came out of this was, you know, the families in that community who were not in a co-op yet, that had vulnerable children, average meals per day, 1. In a co-op, average 3 meals a day. Meat 3 times a year, not in a co-op. Meat 3 times a week in a co-op. Sleeping arrangements, sleeping on the floor basically, sleeping on a bed with sheets and blankets, mud brick housing versus a cement brick house with tin roof, everybody in school versus only half. Health insurance. Health insurance is very rudimentary there, but it does mean if you have it, you know, you can go to the clinic and you don't have to pay anything. If you don't have it, you don't necessarily get all the services.